Okay, so how's the independent variable different from the dependent variable? Well, the independent variable is also known as the manipulated variable. Manipulated means you change it. It's the one you control. Okay? The independent variable, just so you know for future reference when graphing or setting up a data table, will you generally go on the horizontal or x-axis. Okay? That's the horizontal axis. Okay, so that's the variable that you're going to change. You're going to manipulate it, and that's the thing in the experiment that you're using to test, to see how the dependent variable reacts to it. So if we were talking about, like, let's say the growth of grass, you would have, how does water affect the growth of grass? So you're testing the effects of water. So you're going to manipulate or change the amount of water, and then you're going to measure how much the grass grows with different amounts of water. So the dependent variable is what we call the measured variable. So whatever you're measuring is the dependent variable. It depends on the independent variable, and that's going to go on the the y-axis, or the the vertical axis. Okay, up and down. Okay, so if you're creating a graph, the dependent variable will generally go, it should go on the vertical or y-axis. So in my example, how does water affect the growth of grass? How much the grass grows depends upon how much water you give it. You give the grass, okay? So you change the amount of water and you measure the growth of grass, let's say. Okay? So put amount, and I'll abbreviate that. So in the example I gave, the independent variable will be the amount of water, and the dependent variable will be the growth of the grass. Many times you can tell which is the independent variable and the dependent variable based upon the question or the title of a graph. Okay? So you might say in this, your title of your graph might be the effect of water on the growth of grass. So usually it's going to be the effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable. You also might see it, you could figure it out from the problem. How does the independent variable affect the dependent variable? How does the amount of water affect the growth of grass? You could also, like we said in the title below, the effect of the amount of water on the growth of grass. It makes sense. You would generally not say the effect of the growth of grass on the amount of water. It doesn't make sense. Okay? So basically those are the differences between, that's the main difference between an independent variable and a dependent variable. All right, if you want to make sure you take notes on this, you may be using it in class. Okay? Have a good night.